Hello everyone. So our today's topic is hereditary spherocytosis. It is actually a type of hereditary hemolytic anemia. So let us know more about it. This is the result of intracorpuscular defects which have two classifications: hereditary abnormality of the red cell membranes, and our topic hereditary spherocytosis is a type of red cell membrane abnormality, and hereditary disorders of the interior of the red cells. So what is hereditary spherocytosis? It is actually a pathological condition characterized by irregular shape of the red blood cells, where this is the normal red blood cell and this is the spherocyte which has abnormal red cells. So as you can see, the normal red cells are normal biconcave in shape, but the spherocytes have a little irregular shape and the distorted shape. So let us go into the topic hereditary spherocytosis. It is an autosomal inheritance and it is mostly dominant, and it is a red cell membrane abnormality. So as you can see, this is the normal red blood cells which are biconcave in shape, and this is a spherocyte which have a little different shape and both run together in the normal blood vessels. So let us look into the pathogenesis of it. This is caused by mutation in one of the protein which anchor the lipid bilayer to the underlying cytoskeleton. And these proteins are of two types: spectrin deficiency and N-chirin abnormality. So this is a pictorial representation of what I just told you. This is the normal red blood cell which has the normal membrane. So the cytoskeleton inside the cell is attached to the red cell membrane properly by these proteins spectrin and N-chirin. But in the defective spirocyte, the cytoskeleton inside the cell is deformed because of the deformed protein and are not attached properly to the red cell membrane. So spectrin. Almost all cases have deficiency of spectrin, and spectrin correlates with anemia. So there are two types of mutation of spectrin: alpha spectrin, which is recessive, and beta spectrin, which is dominant. So alpha spectrin causes severe anemia, whereas beta spectrin, which is dominant, causes milder anemia. And N-chirin abnormality. It binds protein 3 and spectrin together. Half of the cases have N-chirin deficiency. These again are of two types: homozygous state, which is recessive, and heterozygous state, which is dominant. So this homozygous state causes severe anemia, whereas heterozygous state causes milder anemia. So let us look into the etiology of it. As I already told you, this is caused due to defective anchoring of lipid bilayer to the cell membrane. Thus, the red cells with normal volume but unstable membrane, when released in circulation, lose their membrane further to accommodate the given volume. This results in the formation of spheroidal contour and smaller size of RBCs known as microspherocytes. These microspherocytes are not flexible and unable to pass through the spleen, and in the process lose their surface membrane further. This further produces a subpopulation of hyperspheroidal red cells which are subsequently destroyed in the spleen. So as you can see, this is the normal RBCs biconcave shape, and this is the microspherocytes which have become smaller due to further defective red cell membrane by passing through the vessels. Clinical features are anemia, which are mild to moderate. Splenomegaly is a constant feature, and this is caused because the red blood cells have to pass through the spleen, and when they pass through the spleen, they are not able to pass properly, causing splenomegaly. Jaundice, due to increased concentration of unconjugated bilirubin in plasma, and this is due to hemolytic jaundice. Pigment gallstones, due to increased bile pigment production, and splenectomy is the only reliable treatment. So these spherocytes have Hubble-Jolly body present in them and cause splenomegaly. and jaundice with scleral icterus or pigment gallstone because of chronic hemolysis. Thank you so much. I hope this was helpful.